The Tyndale Bible generally refers to the body of biblical translations by William Tyndale. Tyndale's Bible is credited with being the first English translation to work directly from Hebrew and Greek texts. Furthermore, it was the first biblical translation that was mass-produced as a result of new advances in the art of printing. The term Tyndale's Bible is not strictly correct because Tyndale never published a complete Bible. That task was completed by Miles Coverdale, who supplemented Tyndale's translations with his own to produce the first printed Bible in English in 1535. Prior to his execution, Tyndale had only finished translating the entire New Testament and roughly half of the Old Testament. Of the latter, the Pentateuch, Jonah, and a revised version of the book of Genesis were published during his lifetime. His other Old Testament works were first used in the creation of the Matthew Bible and also heavily influenced every major translation of the Bible that followed. The chain of events that led to the creation of Tyndale's New Testament possibly began in 1522, the year Tyndale acquired a copy of Martin Luther's German New Testament. Inspired by Luther's work, Tyndale began a translation into English using a Greek text compiled by Erasmus from several manuscripts older than the Latin Vulgate of Jerome, the only translation authorized by the Roman Catholic Church. Tyndale made his purpose known to the Bishop of London at the time, Cuthbert Tunstall, but was refused permission to produce this heretical text. Thwarted in England, Tyndale moved to the continent. A partial edition was put into print in 1525 in Cologne. Tyndale was betrayed to the authorities and forced to flee to Worms, where the first complete edition of his New Testament was completed in 1526. Two revised versions were later published in 1534 and 1536, both personally revised by Tyndale himself. After his death in 1536, Tyndale's works were revised and reprinted numerous times and are reflected in more modern versions of the Bible, including perhaps most famously the King James Bible. Tyndale's Pentateuch was published at Antwerp by Martin de Keyser in 1530. His English version of Bible of Jonah was published the following year. This was followed by his revised version of the book of Genesis in 1534. Tyndale translated additional Old Testament books including Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles. But they never got published and have not survived in their original forms. When Tyndale was martyred, these works came to be in the possession of one of his associates, John Rogers. These translations would be influential in the creation of the Matthew Bible, which was published in 1537. Tyndale used a number of sources when carrying out his translations of both the New and the Old Testaments. When translating the New Testament, he referred to the edition of Erasmus' Greek New Testament, often referred to as the received text. Tyndale also used Erasmus' Latin New Testament as well as Luther's German version and the Vulgate. Scholars believe that Tyndale stayed away from using Wycliffe's Bible as a source because he did not want his English to reflect that which was used prior to the Renaissance. The sources Tyndale used for his translation of the Pentateuch, however, are not known for sure. Scholars believe that Tyndale used either the Hebrew Pentateuch or the Polyglot Bible and may have referred to the Septuagint. It is suspected that his other Old Testament works were translated directly from a copy of the Hebrew Bible. He also made use of Greek and Hebrew grammars.